happy when you get a real bad gut, you'll never have a scar. It's a medicine.
You guys, I dropped my phone and it's not working right. So if the stream drops, it's because my phone is broken.
Die right away. So yeah, no, it's a solution to trillions of dollars of global problems, and it's really the key to re-empowering 100 million farmers over 1,000 oil barons. That was the decision we made 100 years ago, kind of collectively as a group. And we can step back and remake that decision, spread wealth out through local farming. And again, as I've said before, with hemp is algae, there's mushrooms, we have a science of ecology today that is so sophisticated. We're given any power in the world, it could solve all our problems, including the environmental ones. Not only does it not make waste, these hemp and algae and these mushrooms, they eat up waste. So we can get the petroleum out of our soils. We can get the nuclear gook out of southern Tokyo and Chernobyl. We can solve the world's problems. We have to teach the world how to do it because they feel very disempowered without petroleum. It's the crutch of the entire global system today. And so yeah, and what we can do locally is just start eating hemp. Every store you demand hemp at. Every time I'm in a thing, I'm like, we don't have hemp milk? What's up with that? It's just a campaign to educate everywhere I go. And more cafes down the street are starting to carry hemp milk. More and more hemp food's going to become more common as it is in Canada and Germany. It's going to change our overall health and vitality. And from there, so I think that was a summary of our little hemp breakout group. Thank you so much.
Hey now.
Hemp, hemp, hooray!
Okay, well, well, food hunger, what can we do about it? So I think the best thing we can do is bring some awareness. And there is people that do like a guerrilla gardening where you can take like a little piece of clay and they have some seeds and you just can throw them into empty lots. When you have an empty lot, you can do seasonal planting. For example, you can take something that has a lot of energy like corn or beans, and then just you find an empty place, just putting a seed there around February, around the rain, and it's going to the natural rain is going to grow the seed, and then you just come back in a few months later and you can harvest that. And that's going to be probably just a little bit, but it's going to give you awareness to start planting. If you have a small lot, start planting seeds like a kale is very resistant. It's drought resistant. I have kale. Annie and I, we started a small garden where I live, and the kale is still there. All we had to do is remove the outer leaves, and the inside, it just keep on growing. It's still growing right now. And so that brings awareness, and also brings awareness about non-GMO foods. Now, everybody has one issue why they are occupying. My primary issue was because of Monsanto. Monsanto is doing a seed so the next generation does not grow. And so the farmers had to go back and buy new seed that's gonna grow only one season. And so they're making sure that the genetics inside do not grow for another season. And that is very screwed up. Yeah. It's wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. They're making experiments with Mother Nature that's been there for billions of years, and they want to make a profit. They want to have people to go buy the seeds, and a lot of people, they cannot afford those seeds, and they're killing themselves around the world because once they go into Monsanto, they gotta go into a contract, and they had to buy Roundup in order to keep those seeds up, so they had to poison the whole ground in order to keep that seed up. Now, they say, well, we have a seed like this, and don't worry about it. What happens if the gene pollutes the other seeds, and there is no more food the next season? Imagine mass starvation of 5 billion people because there is not enough food the next season. Well, they could say, well, that's not supposed to happen, but Chernobyl was not supposed to happen. Fukushima was not supposed to happen. So what's gonna happen with these people that are monkeying around with nature just to make a buck out of our backs? And that's wrong. So doing guerrilla gardening, small plot gardening, maybe it's not enough for some, but at least it brings awareness. And through that awareness, you become more knowledgeable and you can spread the knowledge. This weekend, there is going to be the Green Festival, and there is going to be a lot of issues going to be talked about uh, the gardening and stuff like that. So that's all I have to say.
Goodman, I think, is speaking 2 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay, so you hear that? At 2 o'clock on Saturday, is going to be speaking.
Is that a point of process?
Yes.
No, just a statement to go alongside what he's talking about.
Say what?
It's just, I just wanted to bring out some news. They recently passed a tax initiative to the owners of lots, empty lots, that if they pledge to garden for 5 years, there'll be a tax break on their property tax.
Oh, okay.
So,
good.
yeah, check it out online. You know,
That's
and
good.
recently there was a case with Ron Finley about not allowing us to garden in parkways, in the intermedians, and the Los Angeles and state of California has agreed to not do anything, and they're just putting a stall on the case. So we're good. They said they're giving us the go to garden on
Yeah.
parkways.
Great,
Thank you for the information.
Also, a lot of people try to do gardening in the front yards, and it's illegal in some places to have gardens in the front yard to have food to grow for yourself.
And I'm Alejandro. I'm also a gardener. So if
Yeah,
anybody
welcome.
needs help, wants to garden, if they have any space, let me know.
You want to talk? You can
Yeah,
Yeah.
you next.
Yeah.
So one more thing, I am also part of the food committee, and I'm not the greatest cook, but at least it's some nurture. And if anybody wants to participate in the food committee or whatever, let us know for another actions. Rice and beans are not the most glamorous things.
Feed the people! Feed the people! Thank you, Sergey. Michael, who's next? Melissa, yeah, you'll be next.
Okay, it's a quick one. So today is World Food Day. You can hashtag it. Get it? Hashtag it. WFD 2013. That's one way that you can share whatever your message is. If you tag on WFD 2013, we would like to see no kid hungry by World Food Day 2014. We were trying to see that by this year, but we know that there's a lot of kids hungry. And Julie brought up a good point that not just kids shouldn't be hungry, but all people. So we'd like to remind everybody that FTP also means Feed the People. So that's one of our favorite hashtags, hashtag FTP. And it can mean a few things, free the people, fuck the bullies, but for sure it means feed the people. And one of the ways that we feed the people every week, we want to give a shout out to the Occupy LA Food Committee.
Hey now.
And so we've got vegetables. We should eat more vegetables to end world hunger. I have a campaign about that. But we used to also have genetically modified pizza. And so, even though that's bad for you, we deserve the right to have a choice if we want to eat genetically modified pizza. And we could do that if people were donating more to the Occupy LA We Pay General Fund. So, even though there's some issues with Occupy LA social media, we all are responsible. We all practically have Twitters and Instagrams. So you don't have to be officially on the social media committee to hashtag or tweet or let people know. And if people don't want to donate directly to some fund, they can literally send pizza here. Wednesday nights, just like they used to do before. Garage Pizzas takes orders. There's lots of places downtown.
got gluten free.
That's getting 20-something.
But
Pizza's the most perfect food.
Right? And so we do accept food. We appreciate the Occupy LA Food Committee. We also want to give a shout out to Food Not Bombs.
Yeah!
And definitely.
Facilitation, who buys us all food. Hey now.
Yeah, shout out to Julie. Some of us have lived off those French fries all week.
And now
So
we got a new menu.
we take care of our own because they're not taking care of us. So by any creative means necessary, we should feed each other and we should share. So shout out to all of you that have fed me, and I appreciate that.
fed us cupcakes.
So you can hashtag it and you can participate, but we're doing it. We're actually doing it. We're feeding each other and sharing food and bringing food home. So thanks to the Santa Monica Farmers Market and everybody who makes sure that we can do that every Wednesday. And now, right, we're doing it every Wednesday here at 7:30. So make it a potluck. We can feed each other. It's our right. And what I was saying about Food Not Bombs is Keith McHenry, the co-founder of the free school, the Food Not Bomb School in Taos, really wants to come out here and speak. He will be here sometime in December. There's so many activists with different groups. If you have an event you want him to speak at or a group, get at him online. Keith McHenry, Food Not Bombs. We're doing it. We're feeding the people. Thank you.
Yeah, hip hip hooray. Marco, who's next?
All right, Barry.
Yeah. This time I'm going to be speaking in different capacities. First, discussion group, it was mentioned that the government has cut back and, due to a computer glitch in quotes, given no food on certain days to people, and that food stamps and other food should be a basic right, including in schools, outside of schools, etc. It could be an elementary right. And it also been my personal experience that while I was in Cuba, I saw a sign saying that 200,000 children went to bed homeless, not one of them lived in Cuba. The same thing can be said about 1 billion people who go to bed hungry every day throughout the world. Again, not one of them lives in Cuba. Why? They had nationalized everything. You will not see a single Monsanto product in Cuba. You will not see a single McDonald's in Cuba. And they used to have 500,000 people working in agriculture part of the year and barely able to feed themselves because they had a social program for themselves. They know everyone eats. Although the rations are certainly not enough, it's enough at least not to starve. The cause of world hunger is capitalism. One of the ideas, it used to be that in Mexico, most of the small villages had collective farms. They weren't in Spanish called ejido, apologies for the bad accent, but everyone used to be able to farm together. Because of the U.S. pressure, NAFTA, etc., that is going. Again, it's a political decision. It's not a matter of how many seeds you plant. It's a matter of the seeds being planted for capitalism. Likewise, U.S. agricultural imports are cheaper than people can possibly produce, so therefore farmers are going out of business. And in the U.S. itself, racist agricultural loan policies have made the number of black farmers decline from 1.8 million to 18,000. And that has been through Democratic administration and Republican administration alike that has been happening. Finally, on that thing, people have frequently said grow your own. Occupied Versailles made a transcription truncation. The true thing was, let there be cake, but throw it out of your own ingredients and bake it yourself. There are people that don't have the means for the land to grow. Back in the Civil War, when they were going to have everyone do individual agriculture, they recommended 40 acres and a mule. The the average suburban place, except for 1%, is 39.8 acres short and 1.0 mules short of what is needed.
Yeah, that's right.
You cannot grow things on your own. And as a product of a tenement, I could have told my neighbors to ignore the crops growing in the corridor and kept the combine in the kitchen cabinet. But my apartment lease would have said that the draft horse would be in violation of the no pets law. So therefore, we should keep in mind that the only solution is to have the right to food everywhere.
Hi everybody, I'm Alejandro. I was part of Occupy when we were camping out here. And after when we got kicked out, me and a lot of other occupiers, we went to Hawaii, and where we studied permaculture. And I spent a year and 3 months in Hawaii studying farming, sustainability, and permaculture. And I came back because me and my friends want to start an urban edible landscaping company, help out with community landscaping, edible landscaping, in-house, learning how to can, learning how to ferment vegetables. You can be sprouting in your own home. You can have a little garden in your cabinet. Just save some jars, start sprouting beans. Think about your health. You can start making your own kimchi and sauerkraut. It's really easy. You just need salt and cabbage and some jars. I make my own kombucha. You know, we give workshops. Me and my associates here, we give workshops on all these things. You can make your own vinegar, and these are all important things because you got to get yourself healthy, and then we got to get the population healthy. You know what I mean? All the underclass, marginalized people, it's like a fucking food desert in the hood, and they're just getting GMO'd out the hell, you know, having really bad nutrition. Most mental illnesses have to do with malnutrition, you know, and so you really got to get all your amino acids, your protein, your carbs, your fatty acids, your vitamins, your minerals. So we can do that if we just start thinking consciously healthy. And recently they just passed the tax initiative for lot owners to be able to garden if they promise 5 years of gardening for the community. So we can, you know, start organizing ourselves so we can find lot owners and garden. And we just need some trucks. If anybody's got a truck too, we can get free mulch from the county. The county gives out free mulch. We can all be composting. If you have food scraps, you can turn it into soil with the free mulch. We can get it from the county. There's county mulch all over the city. There's a lot of resources. You can use cardboard. You can break cardboard down into soil. There's so many things we can do. We can inoculate using beneficial bacteria and mushrooms. We can inoculate the city, and that helps break down any kind of any kind of toxin in the soil. So yeah, get with me and my buddies, me and Paul. At the end of the night, we're trying to start a company. It's called Food Gardens LA. We're doing it under a worker-owned co-op. On L3C. There are no worker-owned co-ops in LA right now. They're all in Northern California and Oregon and stuff like that. So we can all maybe, you know, break. No,
That's not
in
true.
LA,
There's a lot of co-ops.
Okay.
There's a lot of co-ops.
Worker-owned co-ops.
Yeah.
Okay, well I guess.
No, there's a lot of us.
You and me, of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of us.
Also,
Let's talk later on.
Yeah.
And point of process, the city soil is, you do not want that. City of LA soil, that stuff they're giving away free, has so many toxins that's in it.
Yeah.
You do not get that. It has major bad toxins.
Well, we can inoculate and break any toxin down.
I'm telling you, the
soil.
He's saying he can fix the taxes.
You can fix the toxins out with mycelium, with beneficial bacteria, with mushrooms. You can look up Paul Stamets. There's a TED Talks called 8 Ways Mushrooms Will Save the World. They've done experiments. They've done experiments where they have a pile of asphalt broken down with oyster mushrooms and then growing food out of it within 6 months. So all these things are possible, you know.
All right. Make it a group.
All right. Next up is Adam.
Thank you.
like 3 more people, I think, and then, yeah. And then I think Beth wanted to share something and call it a day.
Ruby, that was an interesting point about the EBT. One of the major things about EBT, would hope most of you know at this point, is that if you have a drug conviction, you can't get it. So you get released from jail, prison, wherever you're at. You get put back on the streets, and you cannot feed yourself.
What's that bill number?
It was SB 283. However, SB 283 was defeated. Unfortunately. Well, not defeated, more like choked to death by a bunch of piece of shit legislators. So, yeah, pretty much. So what we're trying to do along LACAN, YJC, and a bunch of other groups is again this year move to get that not only on the agenda, but to get that passed, to get that repealed. Because that is just simply feeds the prison industrial complex. You hit the streets and you can't eat, what the fuck you gonna do? You gonna do the same thing to put you in jail in the first place. Or something worse. It's a public safety issue, it's a health issue, it's a food issue, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Adam.
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
Yeah, Badger.
Well, what I wanted to say was more of an idea. It was about food. Like, they're talking about this guy in Hollywood. I don't even remember his name. It don't even matter. This guy in Hollywood, council member trying to make us not feed. Basically, we got to prove to whoever's going to say something like that is you cannot take away the right to feed unless we give it up. If the people give it up, then that's when they can take it away. We do not give up that right. So my idea is that we have a feeding in Hollywood because I don't think there's any feedings on that.
There's an action on the 29th.
All right, 29th.
Rub it out.
All right, 29th. So on point. So we need to do stuff like that and just basically show people that they cannot do this and let them know that they're trying to, but that we just can't let them. So I think if we could work with other groups and make events, stuff like that, that would be cool. So that would be my main idea. And like, it would be cool if someone would want to commit to something and stuff like that.
Yeah, Badger. Thank you.
Rolando, you at, man? Oh. All right.
I just want to tell you, for everybody, kind of bad news is about the state of the climate. United Nations about 2 weeks ago released the study about the climate, and it's very critical. It's the news in our country. They don't pass, to the mass media over here, but all around the planet they pass it in. They thought that was too radical, but it's in base of the scientific study. We said they're going to face mass extinction in 50 something like that years. But last week, Hawaii University, they have a study for 2 years about the ocean current and about how the ocean absorbs the carbon dioxide. And that's even more critical. You have to study the thing because the whole planet, the light of the planet is threatened by these things, So go to that website in the Hawaiian University to see how critical it is. Also, there is another website that you have to visit, is Climate Reality. In Climate Reality, we debunk everything that they say, that we don't have the capacity to change from fossil fuel. We already have the technology over there, and we explain how the carbon is damaged the whole system, that sustain this planet. So it's very important to go to that thing. Also, what the brother say over there, that we have to have action in Hollywood, is going on now to the Climate Reality. We have every Saturday from 10 to 12, we meet in Western and Hollywood Boulevard over there. We have a table, we inform the people. So if you want to join to that, just join over there from 10 to 12, Western and Hollywood Boulevard, to create that idea that every Saturday when they meet over there, so we have the consistency to do the thing. It's from 10 to 12 Saturday, and it's in Hollywood Boulevard and Western. Please join us over there.
There's a red line there.
About this thing of food that we create, definitely. In India, about to 500,000 people commit suicide because Monsanto, especially, they impose the way they seed that kill the bee, that kill the butterfly, they impose to the people over there. So the farmland has been devastating over there. Also in Korea, 250,000 people commit suicide when this big corporation went over there and imposed their way of cultivation. So the variety that Mother Nature gave us for millions of years, they want to just destroy, and they want to put their food that doesn't have the vitamins, and they have the proteins that the body needs. It's almost whole food that it doesn't have sustain the life. It's poison the life. The DNA, that you go in the DNA and destroy the DNA. From that DNA has been billions of years to create, these things, and they want to destroy because they want money. So it's time for us to awake to this reality that we're killing the planet, and we have to come, with the new ideas, and they already new ideas over there. So, like Germany, they create the microchip now, the solar cell. This solar cell that we have now is about 14 to 15% efficient. Now they create 44%, efficient. So, and they already have up to 50% energy run by the sun.
Thank you. Yeah.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
So, this is the way that we make change. The only way we can make change is to go and work with organizations that are already on the ground doing work behind these different bills, ways of feeding people, because this is the people work for the people. That's the only way we're going to make change. Most all y'all know me, I'm a community organizer. I can't read, but I get out in the streets and I organize. So I'm going to read something right now for folks so we can stop this taking away food lines.
Yeah, so Tuesday, October 29th at 5 p.m. at the Hollywood Food Line. That's a place that has been under attack by Councilmember Lavon, who is passing the motion I talked about earlier, who he introduced the limit to the provision of free food, the right to share and receive food, and also on the last night, Occupy LA posted a poster about this, and it's an actual copy of the motion itself, the actual motion that he filed. So if you want to read that and do your fact check, you can read that, and it's on the page.
So being that said, we got new folks here. We're building a homeless bill of rights.
Yeah.
We need folks to get involved. This is part of the homeless bill of rights. Be able to pass food freely, because the Creator gave us this food. This ain't. They just corporatized everything. So we need to stand up and fight with the organizations that are doing the work. We can't just sit here and talk about it.
There we go.
We got to stop being armchair revolutionaries and get in the streets.
Right on, Jojo.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we make change. That's how we make change. Get in the fucking streets.
Power!
Power! Power!
All right, hello everybody. I'm just here to announce that this Saturday it's going to be the normal meeting on Western and Hollywood at the
Rock City, LA Gym, Rock City News.
Rock City News.
Rock City Railroad.
There's going to be a potluck, so bring some food, but nobody will be turned away, all right? We're going to be talking about the hemp initiative as well with Patrick and Jeanette and Melissa, Sunshine, Richard.
Free the weed.
Hemp, hemp, hooray.
Hemp, hemp, hooray! Saturday at what, 4:20?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. It's fun. Dad. Thanks for announcing that, Wedo.
Hey, how everybody doing?
Hey now.
On this beautiful full moon, on this beautiful full moon night.
Nice to see you.
Power to the people. All power. We were up here a couple of years ago and oh wow, look at the pig through the window.
Yeah.
Power to the people, pig.
Power to the people.
They have act that they do on the people. They have passed a law where they can spy on us.
Yeah.
They can tape us. They can do anything they want to drag us into court indefinitely and hold us under some kind of treason because people are scared to go with occupiers. It gave us a bad name. They believe the press. They believe the hype. They believe the lies because they want to believe it. They want to believe the lies because we haven't done our job. You haven't done your job to convince them that they're living in the matrix. We are on this grid in the matrix, and there's grid after grid, or you can say block after block. But we have to deal with this capitalist democracy society, which is a clash which brings fascism. We live in a fascist society where the rich get richer, one percenters. They have defined our occupied, and they've defined it and made it what they want to make it. Because the LA Times is not an accident that they're over there.
Yeah.
The LA Times has designed this matrix.
Yeah.
They've helped design it. Their family helped design it. They are part of the one percenters to keep them up. They are that. And so when they say don't feed the homeless, what they're saying is don't feed the army. Because that's your army. We are the people's army. So when they say don't feed the people, they're saying don't feed the army that will eventually, this is our city hall, to take over our city hall. This is our city hall. If it costs $50,000 to repair the gas or the grass or whatever. $400,000. Oh yeah, well that was cheap. They got off cheap. $400,000. They got off cheap. Yeah.
I think it's
You know, I mean
You have the right to stay
because
here 24 hours a day.
I mean no matter what, you
have
build,
that right.
you bring all the people together. We're all together. We all love one another. But our street. These are our streets.
It's our street.
But when you put us all together, people do a very funny thing sometimes. We separate ourselves because we're brought up prejudiced and, you know, somewhat biased and racist. Oh, not the R word, but yeah.
There is racist people here.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're trying to overcome the big demon and get that monkey off their back. Because we were taught racism. It's something you're not born with.
And we can unlearn
And so-
that shit.
What we did was we occupied City Hall.
Yeah.
And then we separated ourselves like you do in high school and in college. We know where how you have, you know, you have the Asians eating over by the cafeteria. You got the Mexicans kicking it over there on the football field. The black people over there by the gym. You got the white folks up under the tree kicking it, kicking it. You know, yeah. We separate ourselves, and we got different tribes. You know, we got the come kick it tribe. You know, keep it real tribe.
Keep it real.
You know, the black hole. Oh, positive.
How about the domination of the occupation?
So what we have to do is learn not to separate ourselves with amongst ourselves. So if we're going to have tribe by tribe, then we're going to switch half the tribe, like in the Bible. The half Manasseh tribe, you know, went with the Gad tribe. You know, I don't know if Benjamin and Joseph didn't like it. But we're all one. But since we want to separate ourselves, we're going to have to learn how to make one another, love one another, and you can learn a lot from another person's culture. That's why I love Chinese culture, because that was something I had to learn. Because you had to pick one, and that's where my finger fell. And my God, after learning that, I wanted to be Chinese. And I respect it. And my hero is Mao Zedong. And I learned a lot about the Ming Dynasty, the Qing Dynasty, and the Hao. But that's another course of another brief. It was not what I wanted to discuss. I wanted to discuss Pig Joseph on Skid Row.
Joseph Dion.
So yeah, he's a pig, LAPD's finest. And what he does is he says, don't feed the homeless because you give them the incentive not to do nothing. And that they got 8,000 meals, that's what he says. They serve 8,000 meals a day, so there's no need nobody coming down feeding.
Or they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Right.
You know, these missions are celebrating, well, let me put it this way.
Pimps.
The Midnight is celebrating 100 years next year. 100 years, they're celebrating 100 years of poverty. Now, you know that's my speech. Come on, you ready? We're getting to hit it. Power to the people. And these poverty pimps are going to celebrate 100 years of poverty pimping, because when Kirk Douglas died, he left like $70 million to the LA Mission, and they still don't accept women and children, nor are they going to do anything for them. They believe in separating family from family, just like they did in slavery. They separate the man from the woman and have her hit a household, then separate that, have the children being raised by children, and send her, ship her off somewhere. So that's what they're doing here. They're doing it with the SRO, single room occupancy. People weren't designed to be single.
Right.
They end up jumping out of windows and getting weird at night. It's just, thank God we need our family. We are our family. And so, I mean, what we got to do is we got to want to love one another. Because if you're made to do it, well, you're going to hate the person you're made to love.
Got that right.
Yeah, I know. I've been in that situation. We ain't going to miss it in the past. But what we want to do, I love you too, Wedo, my brother. We all have differences. We have to learn how to come together collectively.
Yes.
This ain't like Occupy Greece where we all agree. This isn't like Occupy France. Well, I'm just saying. It ain't Occupy Brazil where we all Brazilians and we all like to kick it butt naked. It's not that kind of Occupy.
Kick it butt naked.
Yeah, we do. Hold up. Some places that ain't legal. But what we need to do is learn how to love one another and like and embrace differences. Yeah. Because that's where you get your ideas from somebody. You say, well, I never looked at it that way.
Machismo. Hallelujah.
Ego checks. Right.
So, as I said, I'm glad to see everybody on this glorious October day. This is where we occupy. This is where we come from. This is what I used to say when we used to protest across the street, down the street. One day we will come back here and occupy. And if they disrespect us and do anything wrong, well, we're gonna take it to the streets. Yeah. Just like we did the night that they beat up on New York, and everybody said, "Call your congressman." And we said, also we're gonna march around here a couple of times and take it down the street and take our protest to the people and let the people hear about it. Because the people want to know what happened to Occupy. The people want to know where is Occupy. Well, we're not dead. We're going to let them hear from us.
Yeah.
Long live Occupy.
How can we do that?
We haven't got our demands met. We're going to write down our demands. Why are you here? Give up 1 or 2 reasons what you want. For the children's safety, for more better classes, teachers' pay, universal health care, the right to have a job.
Want some fucking housing.
Right. If that's why you're here, then let's have it. Let's hear it. Let's all hear it. Let's have our demands read and met. And if not, well, this is our city. We built it, and we can burn it. If you're not ready to occupy, if you're not ready to stand for something all the way, not tell them when they say, okay, you stood long enough, now sit down. And we sit down, we go away. I never will forget we got our asses kicked over there November 11th, 2011, right there at that Bank of America, because they're the biggest home foreclosure, and I forgot. So we need to put a foreclosure on Bank of America.
Yes.
We have a lot that we haven't accomplished. We have to have work done. We must get along. We must love one another. We have to.
Thank you, TC.
Power to the people. Thank you.
Power to the people!
All power to the people! All power to the people!
All power to the people!
All power to the people!
All power to the people!
They tell me I'm next on stack. I don't know how I'm going to follow that.
Well, let's do a solidarity clap.
Do a dance. Yeah, solidarity clap. The reason I got on stack is we were at some point tonight we talked about worldwide children hunger and how we don't want to have any hunger by 24th. That's next year, right?
World Food Day, yeah.
Right? And I have a challenge to everyone here.
to come back next week and bring with them not just the number of how many children go to bed hungry every night. I want to open our eyes to how many children die of hunger every fucking day.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make this look any better than it really is. I want to turn over all the top cards and see just how nasty this shit is. World capitalism is going all over the damn place, stealing food out of children's mouths to put as much money as they possibly can in the 1/100th of 1% of the richest people in this world. And this fucking shit's got to stop, okay? I want to expose just how bad things really are. How many children don't even have sanitary drinking water? And I can go on. So my challenge is next week come back and have a list of the kinds of real crap that's going on there. I don't want to make the picture look so bleak. We're like, oh, it's too bad, we can't do anything about it. No, we need to look how bad it is, which will energize us to say, we got to do something about it. That's all. I didn't want to go on and on.
Power to the people!
I'm going to stay seated while she's on the inside. Can you hand out like the copies? First, I want to say Leslie is at the Peace Vigil in Washington, D.C. right now. She's watching on the stream.
Hey now, Leslie! Hey now, Leslie!
We love you.
Mama Sunshine, love you!
I provided
She knows that.
I decided to provide what I'm going to say tonight in a hard copy because often I get spoken over and not allowed to speak. But this is really important to not just me, but to OLA. Leslie has co-signed to this, Mari has co-signed to this, others have co-signed to this to speak out, you know, not on changing anything, but actually following consented process, because we worked really hard to come to processes together and to agree on them, and we should be following what we agreed on. And if we agreed that changes need to be structured a certain way, they need to be. Okay, before January 2013, OLA Social Media was the only committee that had followed the structured guidelines laid out in the committee confirmation proposal passed on December 21st, 2011 by the OLA General Assembly. You can see it at losangelesga.net under consensus. From the proposal, we ask that all committees fulfill these basic requirements. 1. Be horizontal, participatory, open, democratic, and transparent. 2. Have a hard function. 3. Provide a mission statement. 4. Have at least email contact info, a website for each committee is strongly suggested. Any changes to contact information must be announced at the GA. All committees must have minutes that were at least included all consented upon decisions. These minutes must be made public. 6. All committees must have meeting times and locations that are publicized. 7. Membership requirements must be made public. Any changes must be brought to the General Assembly. Okay? OLA Social Media is the only team that had membership guidelines because it was consented that these platforms were really important to OLA and that we needed to have people, you know, who were running them by what we had consented, that we trusted, and that we could work together, you know, to figure out concerns and, you know, get people who really wanted to commit to the long hours of doing this. And it's a lot of work. In January 2013, we were forced into a coup to take control of the social media team by individuals who called for a restructure in order to access our collective pages for their personal agendas of interest, ignoring and completely violating the consented process of the OLAGA and the OLASM team. This call was made by particular individuals who had been posting false and misleading information, which caused us to have to recant multiple statements on the Facebook page during October 2012 when they were acting as admin for pages related to ongoing actions, which they were subsequently removed from before the restructure they called for, which OLASM had nothing to do with those pages, we just shared their content. Since this took place, most will notice all work has come to a grinding halt, as most of the organizers who worked planning actions, facilitating meetings and assemblies,
We're burned out by the constant misdirection, intimidation, and abuse at the hands of those who demanded power, making false statements about those on the team and anyone who stood in the way of this non-consented takeover in order to gain acceptance from others who are not involved or aware of how our platforms are ran or what had been consented by OLA to maintain the security of these platforms. Our rules have gone through changes in which concerns were flat out ignored, including changing our membership policy to allow for no concerns to be addressed, changing passwords and keeping them from active team members, blocking active team members from the main Facebook and Twitter pages, as well as the workspace. Not one of these changes came before the General Assembly. Today I ask we rewind the clock. We give those on the team who were consented in by the process the OLAGA consented OLA social media to follow, which is by individual polls. Concerns are dealt with in person and allowing them to rebuild based on prior consensus, which would allow the social media to return to its once respected position as a source of relevant information about Occupy Los Angeles and what we can and have agreed upon. At one point we had the highest interaction rate of any occupation out there and across the board on all platforms, and we can set once more if we stick to consensus.
Haters gonna hate.
I just want to do a question. So just to wrap up the discussion that we were having, this is a totally new. Just to wrap up the discussion that we were having before, so there are people here that you can get involved in doing something in feeding the people, and always remember to share food, and food is a human right. It is what we need to survive, and that should never, and even if it doesn't have a price tag, we should all be able to feed ourselves and our children and our friends and our families. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to move into that. I'm going to step down from the conclusion, and Beth is going to sort of end this.
Right,
Everyone have a good night, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Rotation meets at 6:15 at Pit Fire Pizza. So please come.
What I ask,
So yes, Beth is going to carry on.
what I ask is anyone who really cares about this, I mean really cares about this, not people who talk shit about caring about it online, come to the meeting on Sunday. This shit is hard fucking work. It takes hours sometimes to put together the stories that we need to share and make sure that
Sometimes it takes 3 minutes.
we consented on agreeing on.
Yes.
You know, and with all of the fighting going
It doesn't take hours to make a
which
post.
they call the sandbox, aptly named, or as I like to call it, the tar pit. You know, it's become honestly impossible to function. Before this, we never had these fights. The biggest fights would be like, don't post that, we hate HRC. Don't post that, these guys are sponsored by Bank of America. You know, shit like that. It wasn't, or like, I hate you today, I love you tomorrow, with the, you know, people we consented to be on the team. You can see our consented rules online. They're on the website, occupyyourmind.org. Our web domain had gotten stolen back by the guy who owned it. We never owned it. That was not my doing. That was what was consented upon by the GM. I kept the website we had going. It's still there for anyone who had a password and wants to write about what's going on, write their experiences. We used to have a lot of great blogs, you know, but social media is something that, well, granted, it's not going to change the world. It's not really doing much. It's our voice to the outside world to tell them what's going on. And if it's not if it's not giving the voice of the consent and of the GA, what are we showing them? So that's all I have to say. If anyone wants to say anything, I say just open up the floor.
You're asking for OLA to have a character consensus, and I think that's a problem with character is not ever consensus.
Mic check, we can't hear you.
Make change. And that in itself is a statement. And if you can't make change, then what are we here for?
Yeah, there were a lot of lies who said that. It's all lies, a lot of it was.
Her character is in question, so is Alyssa, so is so many people here. So why are we even hanging on to every syllable if the character is really the depthing of this issue? Because all this is fucked up attitudes of people with mental problems and issues that don't care about each other's concerns. And doesn't mean that they don't love the idea of OLAism. It just means they're not interested in really making a change inward, inside, and out. The revolution is here, it's gonna be here when we die, when we wake up, when we die, when we wake up, when we die, when we wake up. The shit is here, the shit is real. But you have to make it real inside of your heart. And that does not mean the same to me as it does to you. But love might be the consensus that we can consider overall.
Yes.
I have that issue never inside of me.
Well, what else?
But character does blend with that, does make a blend with that topic.
Well,
I'm not trying to be over you, because I have nothing against people, generally speaking.
And Occupy Social, what you said about not posting consented actions is correct. A lot of consented actions are not
Brought up my
posted.
character over and over and over again are those same people. And those people want to talk about my character. Yeah, you know, I'll admit it. I'm a fucking bitch. You know what? And I'm sick of people crossing us. And you know what? I said this actually standing right here in this very spot, you know, about a year and a half ago. I'm a pro wrestling manager, okay? My job in pro wrestling is to make sure...
Wait, now she's a manager? I thought she was a wrestler.
Okay? I do anything. I throw myself on the line. In my life now,
The
Occupy
stories
LA
keep
has been
changing.
my champion. I have thrown my fucking self on the line so many fucking times. I've stood my ground, I've protected people while other people turn the other way. And I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing it. I'm sick and tired of having dangerous people in our spaces who have stalked and broken into fucking people's homes, you know, who have constantly picked on people of color and made them all fucking leave from day fucking one. You know, come on. Of only about a third of us here
Someone
live
just
here
pointed
at
to
camp,
Beth.
okay? And I can name the people. I know the people who are here, okay? Seriously, keeping it real, like, that's what made this a dangerous space, is people who came to this General Assembly specifically to divide us. And they did. They did hard, and we let them. You know, so I'm not saying, like, everybody is perfect or everybody has to be perfect. But, like, when you talk big shit online about how you care and you don't show up for 6 months, that says a lot.
Hey, now.
Okay? You want to come in and talk on our space and say, oh, you must do this. You want to dominate how someone else works? I don't tell the food committee how to cook. I'm a professional fucking cook. I don't do that. You know, it's not your fucking place. If you want to do the work, then come and do the work.
Wow.
You're not going to dictate.
The resume gets
It's
bigger
not
every
a
day.
dictatorship. You know, fucking seriously. Like, I did social media for a year and a half with no fucking problem. I ran the Twitter. I haven't had access since March. Okay? I stream. I do the website. There used to be other people who did the website a lot. You know, even Ruth used to write. Nobody wants to touch it because of the way people have treated it. It's a safe space that's not built by some corporation. It was built by a dude on this lawn.
Yep.
You know? Fuck! You want to talk about open source? That is open source.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, we use Facebook. It sucks. I hate Facebook. You know what? That's why we don't have corporate logos on our fucking website, but you can share every story on the Facebook page just by clicking on the link. You know? It's like people haven't even looked at it. Domain had to be changed. Here, plug it. Domain had to be changed. We never owned it. Wasn't my decision. I wasn't here then. You know, that was in the first days of Occupy. They decided OccupyLosAngeles.org was a better website. And the guy who had OccupyLA.org wanted to do it all himself. You know, we have other admins. Ryan Rice is an admin. Candace is an admin. You know, other people are admins on the site. You know, it's like where everyone who's ever asked for a password, including OLASM, you know, the dreaded OLASM, anti-social media, I gave them a fucking login. I was like, write whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Just don't personally attack anyone. Tell us we suck. I don't give a fuck. You know? And we have had people tell us we suck. And the comments get really interesting. You know, we just changed our domain name. We still get 400 or 500 views on shit. You know? Come on, guys. Like, all I'm asking is stick to the consensus. If you want to change consensus, do it this way. Bring it before the GA. You know? But, like, sticking to consensus can't hurt us, right? Well, hey now.
I would ask her about Ruth, but
and for
I've had.
transparency,
I'm
also
not.
an admin for Stay Occupied.
Yeah.
True.
I'm not down for drama today. Thanks.
And you could be one too. Here's our question for the people here that might not even know what we're talking about.
The Occupy LA Facebook page.
How can everybody be involved now in the we don't like to call it a power grab, right? But let's say like it was a game show. How could everybody be involved? Because we have our own power. How can everybody be involved? Every Sunday?
There's a million ways you can be involved.
But let's tell
Sunday
them
there's going
five.
to be a meeting here at 11:30.
There's somebody on the chat here calling her on all her shit.
Post on Facebook or Twitter. Like, our interaction rate will go higher if people
Huh?
actually share it. People did as
cheering
much
her on here.
sharing it as they did complaining about it. Like, we'd be back at like almost a million, you know? But like, to see like how low we've dropped against occupations that don't even have GAs anymore, you know? Because I also work with Occupy Seattle. I've been working with them for a year and a half now, and I've been insights analyst since last March, and I've been, you know, a moderator on their shit since the beginning of the summer. But I don't barely even touch their page, so I'm trying to worry about ours. And I never did our Facebook before.
So
I hated doing it.
do. 3 more things that they can do.
Freaking share it. Tell people if you want to join the sandbox. Talk to like somebody you know on the social media team. Me, Alex, Candace. You know, other people. Like Patty could tell you where it is. Other people could invite you to the sandbox. But if you're really interested in doing work, sharing topics, reading consensus.
They don't let me in the sandbox, so.
Don't give a fuck about us that we shouldn't promote. You know, like if LA Ken's having an action, we should be all over that shit. We should know about it weeks before it happens. And can I,
It's gross to hear my name from that mouth.
Let's not hate on the armchair revolutionaries.
No, some of them I love.
Wait, let's just ask the armchair revolutionaries to actually click and share. It's okay if you're sitting in your armchair, but I would like to see more sharing because there is a lot of hard work going into the posts and then it's not getting shared. You don't have to be on social media.
It takes 5 minutes to make a post.
Correct?
Seriously.
So share.
It's not hard to post. It's really not.
I want to say one thing.
Learn the network.
5 minutes if you're slow. Like, it could take 30 seconds to make a post. Come on.
Do you want to hear me out or you want
I want to hear you. Damn, let him talk. How fucking rude. Hey, we love Dots Talk. Hey, we love Dots Talk. Let him talk. Don't be rude.
Let's go, come on, come on.
That's worth it.
We still have someone who still needs to speak.
Let's go fucking talk.
What do you want? You want me to go away or you want to hear me out?
I want you to follow process and speak after Alex. Because Alex was on Stack. And then you can speak.
And then we're going to wrap up TA and Susie's going to come up and speak with you our business.
Thank you, brother. Come on, go.
And we can party till 10:30.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I just wanted to bring up.
It's big enough.
I just wanted to bring up this. GA has been pretty great, but there's a lot of like men who I've seen up here, and not a lot of women. And you know, like we should remember that women are almost like 50% of our population or something like that.
51.
Anyway, like 51.
Yeah,
right?
man.
So like, you know, we should really we're Occupy LA. We should focus on that. We should definitely focus on that.
Yeah.
And also
Smash patriarchy.
Also feminine energy. Feminine energy.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Hey, so, it seems like this is going to turn into a space for open mic, so, you know, whatever you want to say, come up and, you know, get in line and stuff. So I just want to say we're not going to do something tonight, everyone.
Thank you,
Open mic from here on
facilitation. Can we do a solidarity clap?
The park closes at 10, but we say fuck that, and we can stay here as long as we want to, right?
Free speech steps all night.
Yeah, you can talk.
What time is it?
Oh, wait.
Can we do a solidarity clap?
All right, let's do some right now.
Solidarity jumping jacks. There we go.
Yes.
What makes the 1%? The 1%.
Green.
They're assholes.
How they get there? They get there through competition and then domination. What they resemble, their behavior resembles that of an animal that instead of pounding the chest and showing their teeth, they find different ways to hook you into doing what they want you to do. They probably want to make you pay taxes more than what you can afford, or maybe own the food supply, maybe own the ways to have commerce, like owning the money. That's what the 1% does. Competition and domination. Just like a horse that kills or makes existing horse and it becomes the alpha leader. That's what they are in society. They really resemble an animal, the 1%. Now, society has a lot of that. There is institutions that you go on Sunday and they tell you that there is one male up there somewhere that is going to send you to hell if you don't follow. They tell you that you are supposed to obey something, somebody, or something. So the 1% gets there to competition and domination. That's not human, because humans, we need community. Just like TC said, we need to know each other. And over here, we have a problem that we haven't solved within ourselves, that we haven't been able to create a community. And one of the problems that we haven't, there is a place called the sandbox, which is full of testosterone.
What?
It's about competition and domination. There is no community being built in there. People get shoved around through competition and then domination.
They kick me
We
out.
need to change the paradigm.
They kicked me
We
out of
need
the
to create
sandbox.
community.
Seriously.
And that's something we need to work around.
With no consensus. Like no vote.
How are we going to be able
Tatiana.
to create something better than that is not going to resemble
I don't even know she's a human.
what the
I've never
1%
met her.
does, what the alpha leader does?
No, that's somebody else.
Competition and domination is
No.
the past. We need to contribute and collaborate. Forward to the people, bro.
Power to the people! Let him finish, let him finish. Are you finished?
Yeah, so come by Sunday, 11
That's right.
and we want to work out to create community all